Hi, my name's Jean-Pierre. Over the last while I've been sharing stories of my encounters in the bush and my experiences with different animals and the lessons I've learned from those encounters and how I've applied them into my everyday life. I'd like to share with you a story of a breeding herd of elephant and an encounter with a young couple. Luckily this time I wasn't involved, I was just a spectator in the entire event. So it was one evening, we were on a evening drive when we were heading down to one of the watering holes on our western boundary for sundowners. And as we were heading down this boundary road, we noticed a breeding herd of elephant that were moving with purpose towards the watering hole. Obviously they were thirsty and it was time for a drink. So as we got down to the watering hole, we noticed that there was a Land Rover with a couple parked in it having sundowner drinks. But they just happened to be parked on the side of the watering hole that the elephants were coming to, meaning they were in their path. So I leant over and said to the guy, "Listen mate, you might want to move to the other side of the watering hole as there's a breeding herd of elephants coming down." He was obviously trying to impress his girlfriend before he turned around to me and said, "It's all good mate, I've got this covered." Thought to myself, yeah, rock hell, you got this covered. Anyway, we'd warned them, given them, our advice. They chose not to accept it. Fair enough. So we pulled around to the other side of the watering hole, parked under a nice knobthorn tree, poured some gin and tonics, got the snacks out and sat back and waited for the fun to start. Wasn't too much later when the breeding herd of elephants arrived. We could see them moving down the hill. They got to a point and started to let this couple know that they were in the way. Guy obviously thought he knew a little bit better than elephants and decided to stick around a little longer instead of getting out of there when he could. Anyway, what transpired then was this poor guy having to reverse his Land Rover up a rickety old little track, dodging trees and bushes while being charged by a couple of elephants. Now, if you've ever tried to reverse a Land Rover, at the best of times it's not easy, but think about it on a very tight track where you've got to weave around trees and bushes while being chased by an elephant who can run straight. Needless to say, it was incredibly funny to observe. I wish I had better camera footage of the event, but unfortunately I was laughing that much that my footage of the whole event was a bit sporadic. But what is the lesson out of this? It's very simple. Stop letting your ego run your life. Your ego, all it does is create trouble for you. Don't think for a moment that your ego has anything but its own best interests at heart. Just think about that the next time you want to know better or think you know better than somebody else. I heard a great saying. You might think you're the smartest person in the room, but if you're not the one doing the listening, you're actually the dumbest person in the room. For smart people will always listen, absorb, take all the information in, process it, and then make a decision. They don't walk in there sprouting off what is going to be done, how it's going to be done. It's going to be done my way without listening to their fellow mates. Empty vessels make the most noise. Very simple. Anyway, that's my little life lesson for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, look out for my next videos. Cheers. Take care.